Hey YouTube. So I'm going to do another one about slavery here because evidently there's been some misunderstanding from somebody who is full of crap and decided to tell others about his crap that the slavery mentioned in the Old Testament isn't really slavery, that it was servitude. Now, I'm going to beat the hell out of that in a second, but first off, I want to make a point that apologetics has got to be the most pathetic career choice in existence. Like, basically, apologetics is where you acknowledge that the Bible is fucked up and you find ways to try to make it sound not as fucked up because you're predisposed to believing that it's true, and yet you can't rationalize that this God who is supposed to be loving and morally perfect and all these other things could do these fucked up things. Okay? So pardon my cursing in this video, but I'm just having one of those days where I'm tired of this bullshit about you stupid ass Christians thinking that you prettying up some words and bullshitting about semantics is supposed to make the hideous, despicable crap that Yahweh or Elohim or Jehovah or Yehovah, however the fuck name you want to call him, is not a despicable piece of shit, a genocidal, baby-killing, suicidal egomaniac. I'm not even going to be polite, so if impoliteness gets you all offended, click off now. Check out the way this starts. If you buy a Hebrew slave, he is to serve for only 6 years. Okay, so there's no question here that you can have slaves. Set him free in the 7th year, and he will owe you nothing for his freedom. If he was single when he became your slave, and then married afterward, only he will go free in the 7th year. Now notice right here, it's implying that if he gets married, his wife is not going to be allowed to go free. It also is further implied that she is yours if you own this person who married her. It goes on, but if he was married before he became a slave, then his wife will be freed with him. So see, there, it just supports it. If his master gave him a wife while he was a slave and they had sons or daughters, then the man will be free in the 7th year, but his wife and children will still belong to his master. What kind of sick God is like, yeah, you can buy him and use him and trade him, and and I'll tell you about the beating here in a minute. This person, they're a slave, but if he gets married, then you own that person too. I mean, this is like some really fucked up shit about owning people left and right and being able to decide what happens to them. This is from a loving, benevolent God. Are you fucking kidding me? Then it goes on and says, but the slave may plainly declare, I love my master, my wife, and my children. I would rather not go free. If he does this, his master must present him before God. Then his master must take him to the door and publicly pierce his ear with an awl. Now, you may or may not have heard about this, but that's how they made their declaration of ownership, was taking a frickin' awl, pounding it through their ear on a door. Okay? So you've already got violence involved in this as well. I haven't even gotten to the next part. But this is absolutely deplorable, the way they have this set up to begin with, because it says, if the slave says blah blah blah, well, you know what, if the wife and the children are not allowed to go free, and he really loves them, maybe he doesn't give a fuck about his master, maybe his master's a piece of shit, but he wants to make sure that his wife and children aren't there left alone. Do they have a fucking say in this? No. It's declared that they are just property. There's no alternative here. This is bullshit. And you apologists who defend this shit want to fucking punch you in your fucking teeth, man. Because the precedents that you set up, especially for children who learn about this stuff, is that this is acceptable behavior. You defend it, you glorify it, you worship it, and you're taught to love it and fear it. Fuck you. The next part it even goes into about beating. I won't go into the whole man sells his daughter as a slave. I think I briefed that in another video. But here in Ephesians it says, slaves, obey your earthly masters with deep respect and fear. Serve them sincerely as you would serve Christ. No. Okay? Endorsing slavery as a holy thing is fucked up. And you are a worthless piece of shit if you defend this kind of literature as holy text. Okay? Here it goes in further. When a man strikes his male or female slave with a rod so hard that the slave dies under his hand, he shall be punished. There's not making a distinction here between servitude and slavery, was my first point. Okay? This is very clearly slavery, because it finishes with, if, however, the slave survives for a day or two, he is not to be punished, since the slave is his own property. Property, okay? That's not servitude. Property is ownership. Ownership of a person is fucking slavery, okay? I got nothing else to say. You fucking Christians piss me off so much with your bullshit about defending this crap and then teaching it as so morally good. You corrupt the minds of children. You fuck up their heads. You give them a distorted view of reality. And you do it all for nothing. You don't even have any evidence that this piece of shit asshole that you worship exists. And you are willing to fuck people's heads up and try to mandate laws and change the political system even for your own views of morality on this. Alright? You can go all you want about, well, things change in the New Testament. Well, remember Matthew, I don't remember, 5:16, 5:6, 5:8, it's been a minute. It says, from Jesus himself, I didn't come to change the laws, but to fulfill them. Okay, so you can take that Old Testament bullshit excuse and shove it up your ass. I've had enough of you fucking Christians, dude. I really have. I'm sick of this bullshit. And this is what you're promoting. Okay? So next time you go tell a kid that you need to be afraid of Jesus, yeah, go tell him to be afraid of Jesus because he wants to kill them. Because he wants to fucking kill gays. He wants to kill witches. He wants to kill... I'll even go in another video next time. He wants to kill anybody who isn't even of the same religion. Okay? So you talk about peace all you want. Jesus Christ was God. Remember that. Y'all believe that Jesus Christ was God. They were the one and the same. There's that whole Trinity bullshit. Okay, so if you believe anything in the Old Testament is God, then Jesus Christ also endorsed that. Fucking deal with that.